Thank you, Patty, for agreeing to meet with me to discuss your role in putting together an annual program. I have a few questions to ask you, but first I'd like for you to introduce yourself and tell me what kind of annual program you do put together.
Okay. I'm Patty Carscallen, and I am the Manager of Executive Education in the College of Business and Economics here at the University of Idaho. One of the programs that we manage is the Utility Executive course, which is a 3-week non-degree program for utility leaders. The program is led by industry experts. It's in its 65th year, and we serve leaders from utilities all over the United States and abroad. Enrollment is typically around 60 participants per year.
Thank you for that introduction. How did you get involved in being the planner organizer for the UEC program?
Well, I've worked at the University of Idaho for 30 years, and about 5 years ago, a friend of mine mentioned to me that this position was open and she thought that I would be a great fit for it. So I thought, why not? I'll put my hat in the ring, and it turns out it was a good fit for my strengths. I enjoy collaborating, and excellent customer service is one of the things I'm good at and value a lot. And I also like working in a small group to come up with new ideas and innovative ways to work.
Thanks. You kind of touched on this, but what knowledge and or skills do you see a person needing to be a planner organizer and putting on an annual program?
Yeah, because this work is so seasonal, there are many things that we do only one time per year. So it's really critical that you develop your task list that will help guide you to make sure that you're getting everything done. I think it's really important to be flexible too, because there's always going to be something that goes wrong, and so you need to kind of be light on your feet and be ready to problem solve. And I think one thing that has really helped to me is my experience at the University of Idaho, because I have so many contacts and so much knowledge about the programs and how to get work done here. That's very helpful as well.
Okay. Just to kind of go back, is the UEC program the only program you put together throughout the year, or do you just do multiple?
We have 3 programs that are utility specific, so they're all non-degree programs. In conjunction with the 3-week UEC course, we have a UEC Summit, which is held the final week in conjunction with UEC, and we have both classes together for one keynote day in Coeur d'Alene at the Hagedorn Event Center. That's June. In July, we have a legislative program, which is the Legislative Energy Horizons Institute, which is for state and provincial lawmakers, and it is a 2-part program that takes place in Richland, Washington, and then Washington, D.C. And it is a program designed to help lawmakers learn about the utility industry so that when they're making policy, they're more informed. Then we have a graduate program, which is the Executive MBA program.
And you do all 3 of those? You're part of?
Yes.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Busy.
Yeah.
What are the challenges you face when organizing the UEC?
Yeah. Well, the UEC is a 3-week course, and so people are here living in Moscow, staying at the university and for 3 weeks. And sometimes they do get sick or injured, and so health and safety are certainly a priority. And occasionally something happens and we need to take care of that. So that's one challenge. That's like a big challenge. Mm-hmm. Other than that, we, as you might imagine, are working with a lot of partners to pull this off. And so occasionally a partner will let you down. For example, a problem with a bus, or a venue's not set up, or a flight is canceled and one of our faculty member can't make it on time. Those kinds of things just pop up, and you have to just be ready to deal with them and just know they're going to come.
That's where the flexibility comes in.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if this pertains to the UEC or any program that you participate in organizing, but how do you adjust during funding changes, budget restraints, or?
Yeah, so the utility executive course is self-funded, so we're not dependent on state dollars or university funding for that program, but we have heard from our advisory committee that in the next several years, utility companies are going to need to cut their budgets by 20%. And so we feel like we need to respond to that as well and look for ways to cut expenses. And so some of the ideas that we've come up with are, this year we're going largely digital with, and distributing class materials. So like the PowerPoint slides and the cases and all the things that we used to give them, we're now hosting them. And so that's one way to reduce expenses. In addition, so we have them for 3 weeks. That's a lot of buffet meals, right? So we have given them some free nights, which I think is just merciful for everyone, and it helps us, reduce our costs a little bit.
How do you define the annual program as being successful? Is it by feedback?
Okay, yeah. So we have a extensive assessment program in place. We have our participants fill out a pre-course assessment before they get here. Then once they get back to their companies and in their jobs for a few weeks, they fill out a post-course assessment. And then we measure the learning that happened while they were here on all the different topics that we covered. In addition, we have them fill out evaluation forms for each session and some of the other things like the hotel, the accommodations, the food, and that kind of thing. And our tours as well. We also take them on tours like for Grand Coulee Dam and Whitewater Raft Trip and things like that. So we get a lot of feedback from them, and then at the end of the course they meet with our advisory committee, and they are able to get that feedback face to face so that when we go into our planning phase, they're prepared to be able to know how we can improve the course the next time around. It is an ever-changing curriculum. What is a hot topic one year may not be the next year. So that is one way that we gather the feedback, but the real measure of success is enrollment. And so if our enrollment is near capacity, around 60, then we know that our marketing is working, that we're delivering a good product, and that our alumni and our advisory committee is fully engaged and they're sending their people.
Okay. Just on a follow-up, so there's an assessment with the group before they attend. Just for my clarification, is like the program already set, or you're kind of looking to see what their assessment is of what they're wanting to get out of it when they arrive?
Yeah, so the assessment will ask them to rate their knowledge on certain things like utility accounting or, whatever the topic is that we'll be covering. And then we have industry leaders that come in, and they're our faculty members. And those sessions are pretty long. For example, accounting is one whole day. And we have some panel discussions too. So we have a strategic HR panel and a CIO panel, and so those industry leaders are able to talk about what they see as the big challenges and the big opportunities. And then once they're back, they're going to have 3 weeks worth of learning to sort of bring back to their companies and transform their ability to lead in their organizations. And so they might, we hope, feel like they have a better grasp of network security and accounting and financial markets and things like that.
Okay, that answered that. So this has been really helpful, and I do thank you again for agreeing to meet with me and share what you do with putting together an annual program. And those are all my questions.
All right.
Thanks.
You're welcome.